to do what I always do, something that I was really trained to do as part of my degree and my professional life, which is to take the task, take the instructions, and underline the key words. So I'm looking for the topic. What's the thing I've got to write about? Well, I've got to write about a skill, right? I've got to write about a skill. And in particular, it's got to be a research skill. Okay. So that's my topic. But what have I got to say about the topic? I'm being asked to talk about a skill as to why it is useful. Useful. Okay, so we've got that there. And what context am I writing about? I'm writing about university. Now we could underline the word students, or we could underline the word university. It's the same thing, really, it doesn't matter. But I'm going to underline the word students. So this is the task. This is the task. Now, when we write a paragraph, this is one paragraph. One paragraph is one idea and it has a particular structure. And so I need to answer this task in the first sentence. Let's look at our example. So here I have the example. I've underlined the keywords in the task: feedback, useful, students. And I'm just going to highlight really the key features of this first sentence here. So in the task, my topic is feedback, useful, and useful. And students, and here we have students, we also have the word university. And we have the particular type of feedback that I've chosen here, which is reflective feedback, the type of feedback you've just gone through yourself. So this is the example writing. And I'm saying one of the most useful types of feedback that students receive at university is reflective feedback. That is how we write in English. It is clear, absolutely clear to the reader what I'm talking about, and then I'm answering the task. So when I'm doing this thing here, what I do is I simply do the exact same thing, and I might say that the ability to answer the task in writing is one of the most useful skills learned at university. I've answered the task here. We've got, oh, I didn't, did I? One of the most useful research skills. You got to be careful, don't you? It's easy to miss something as important as that. But one of the most useful research skills learned at university is the ability to answer the task in writing. There it is. I've answered the task. Now, some students say, but Mike, I'm repeating. Well, no, you're not repeating. This is not repeating. You see, this is the task, right? That's got nothing to do with when the reader is reading the paragraph. This is all the reader looks at. Yeah, you need to be clear what it's about. And any paragraph in English, doesn't matter how many there are, each paragraph lives and dies on its own. Any reader should be able to pick up any book on any page and start at the beginning of a paragraph, any paragraph, and understand exactly what is going on. That is how paragraphs work in English. Okay, and so this paragraph here, what's going on? Well, this paragraph is about the ability to answer a task in writing. I'm saying that this is a skill. I'm saying it's a research skill, and I'm saying that it is useful within the context of university. I'm saying quite a lot here, and this is my idea. In that first sentence, we could think of this as a claim. I'm claiming that the ability to answer a task in writing is useful, that it is a research skill, and that it is useful in particular in the context of university. The rest of the paragraph is me convincing the reader that I am right, that I am convincing the reader that I am right. I am justifying this claim, and I do it through a very straightforward structure, which is PEEL, which we'll talk about later in the term PEEL: point, evidence, elaboration, link. And this is the point, the first sentence, the point, the claim. And so that is the first sentence there. Very, very important. If you get this sentence right, the first sentence of every paragraph right, you will get a reasonable grade in your final assignment for Research Skills 1. Even if the rest is a bit messy, even if I disagree with you, I'll still pass you because You wrote about it well. I'm not looking to agree with the students in their assignments. I'm looking to understand them. Okay, so this is why I'm stressing this the most. All you have to do in writing for Research Skills 1, in order to get a basic pass, is just answer the task in the first sentence of each paragraph. That's it. That's easier said than done. It takes a long time to build up this skill because it's practice, isn't it? It's easy to listen to. It's another thing to do. But it all rests with finding the word task, understanding what the task is about, underlining the keywords, and using them to present your answer. I've used these to present. This is the skill that I'm going to talk about. So what's next? Well, I need to justify. Now here's the question. Are you going to believe me if I don't have evidence? I mean, who am I to say this? Well, so I'm going to give my evidence. I watched the video and I listened to it and I wrote down these words that were in the video. Now these words, they don't belong to the writer. They belong to the video. It's a bit confusing because I did both of them, but let's imagine the writer and the speaker of the video are two different people, okay? So these words don't belong to the writer, they belong to the video. So I've got to put these quotation marks around it. Notice the quotation marks, they're above the middle of the line. We don't want to have the Dutch quotation marks, which can go at the bottom of the line. We are not writing in Holland, we are writing in England. We must follow the English rules. You may not be able to notice from my accent, but I am not English. I'm Scottish, but yet I must follow the rules of English. Let's not tell my grandmother about that. But that is where we are. Now, I'm going to put that there. These are not my words, and I must say the name of the person that said it. Okay, where I got it from. And so this came from Wraith, and it was published in 2021. My goodness me, 2021, is that really the year? My goodness. And we put a full stop at the end. Now what's important is the name, the year, and the words, they're all together in the same sentence. If it was a written document, we would put the page number, but it was a video, so we can't do that. Now, realistically, you're not going to be using videos in your assignments. You're going to be using reading texts, but I wanted to make this first task easier for you. And I respect that you may not have been able to do this perfectly. I don't care. I don't care. It's fine. Fine. As long as if you did this first sentence well, you are a superstar to me. If you use the keywords from the task in there, I'm just showing you where we would go. Now, I need to say this means that. Okay, I need to give an interpretation. Okay, not just changing the words, but interpreting it. So we might interpret this sentence as something like, conversations with a lecturer about a student's work can only begin once their answer to the task is clear. Okay, that is something we could say, and I'm not adding anything new there. That's exactly what the quote said, but I'm expressing it in a different way. I've changed the structure. I've really thought about it. Well, what does this mean? If you think about it deeply and say, what does this mean to me? You'll be okay. You'll be okay, and it will be interpretation. If you're just playing a language game, changing words, that doesn't work. You're going to learn a lot about this over the next year and a half. So I've given my evidence. I've shown that I understand the evidence, but I haven't really justified it, have I? Why is it? Why is it that this is useful? Okay, this is useful. Magic word. Because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I want that song in your head every time you're doing an assignment. The word because is used to answer the question why. And answering the question why, then you are explaining. You can either explain why or you can explain how. If you're not doing either of those, you are not explaining, you are just describing. So you want to think why. This is useful because, and then we write a couple of sentences about that. Now, honestly, if you do this in your final assignment for Research Skills 1, for every paragraph you write, And what you're writing is based on the reading material that we show you, and it makes sense. It's clear. Now, notice I say clear, okay? Not Shakespeare's English. Clear. The words here, very clear, very straightforward. And if you do that in your final assignment, I will give you top marks. The thing that gets you the higher grade is this explanation. Okay, the deeper it goes, the more convincing it is, the higher the grade. You don't get higher marks for changing this much. That's just answering the task. The quote, that doesn't come from you. The interpretation is less than explanation. Okay, so this is how we write in English. Stay safe. Good luck.